How are you feeling after last night's game physically?
Physically, I feel good.
The Raptors seem to be paying a lot of attention to your conditioning and your body after last season. Like, is that something
Yeah.
you're worried about? How do you feel about it? How do you
No,
approach it?
it's an ongoing process. Coming off that injury, it's gonna take time. I haven't played in almost a year. I only played 8 games last year, so it's gonna take time for me.
Where do you feel you're at now? Like, are you able to do a back-to-back, or is it too soon to tell? Or
It's too soon. I probably won't do back-to-backs, but every day I'm coming in working on my body, working with the coaches, trying to get back in some type of game rhythm, game flow, so I can contribute and get out there and help the guys.
What do you think a good level for you to get to is? Like this season? Like, do you see yourself as a 20-minute a game guy?
Oh, I see myself just trying to come in and contribute anytime my number get called. So what that is, I have no idea.
Well, I guess not to say it's like what you would ask for, but in terms of your physical ability and fitness, like is that sort of a good ceiling for you to work for?
Yeah, it's always a good feeling to try to get back to your 100%, what you are capable of doing. So, but I know that's not going to be the case because of how significant my injury was. But I'm going to try to continue to grind and try to get back as much as I can to my full potential.
As a veteran, you need to know, like Darko said last night, you're in the rotation now. There's no equivocation. You're going to play every night. As a veteran, does that help you?
It's going to help me as far as preparation for the team, knowing. But just try to stay ready. Get my work in, making sure that everything's good, where I can come in and help the team.
Staying ready and knowing you're going to play is different than staying ready and hoping you're going to play.
Well, I'm a vet, so I kind of know the difference. So.
Yeah.
Darko said last night he appreciated how calming you were when you came on the floor, how you settled your teammates down, helped them focus. What do you think?
That's my job.
What do you think you bring to the court when you do get that call?
I try to bring to the guys coming in, whether we are down or up, try to just be even kill, just trying to be calm, make sure that we do the right things out on the court, make sure we play together, make sure we lock into what we got to do. So that's the big thing that I try to come in and provide, is a sense that, if a team gets going, we can, lock in defensively and get a stop when we need it and get a bucket when we need it.
At that point, you were plus 14 last night. I don't know how much you pay attention to plus-minus ratings, but what's it say about the influence you had when you were on the floor?
I'll just try to make the right plays, try to get the team to do the right things out there, play together. I think it's the biggest thing, and communicate defensively more than anything. We just all got to get on the same page.
You mentioned defensive communication. There's been some slippage, statistically at least,
Right.
on defense since the first 10 games of the year. OG specifically mentioned communication as
Right.
a problem in the last few games. Both on and off the floor, what are you seeing from the defense that just isn't working quite as well as
No, you said it, communication. Whatever defense we're trying to play, we just got to make sure that all 5 guys on the court know exactly what we want to do. Not 3 guys and 2 guys don't know what we're going to do. So I think that's where we, had some slippage, but we're going to fix all that.
Otto, Darko also talked about the fact that the offense has contributed to some of the defense as well in terms of lack of focus. A missed layup is now turning into some misreads on the defensive end in some capacity.
Yeah, for sure. I know, you're going to miss shots, you know what I'm saying? So whether you make or miss, you can't let that affect defense. You make shot, you get back on defense. You miss a shot, get back on defense. So I think that's going to help us, in the long run, to understand that you're not going to make every shot. It's whether you can go back on the other side and get a stop so we can get another opportunity.
Any observations about, obviously you had a lot of time to watch when you've been working your way back, about the poor starts to first and third quarters? You have any idea?
Yeah. We just got to come out with a different mindset, aggressive mindset, coming out in the first quarter and in the third. We have to get off to a good start in the first quarter, especially to start the game. We got to come out with energy. Got to get the crowd involved to pick up that energy, and the same in the third, because those quarters are affecting us.
3 games under 500, last 4 or 5, not the end of the world, obviously, but what do you guys need? Like, what's missing in terms of, building a little momentum?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
it's a big question, and I don't think anybody has like the immediate answer or like this one like big solution that's going to help solve all our problems. So it's on us and it's on the coaches to like figure out a way to get better, because it feels like we're right there. We're just not winning enough games. Like it feels like we have the potential to win these games, but we're not for some reason. So yeah, figuring that out is going to be the most important thing about these next couple of weeks.
I know, when you look at the personnel, we talked about before, this team has, you could look at this team and go, they have the pieces of being a very, very good defensive team, and maybe even an elite defensive team, and yet still a lot of slippage there in the last 10, 12 games or so.
Yeah, we haven't played well on defense. I think a lot of it's been up to, I think we started the season off like playing like very high effort defense, and we got a little bit away from that. Like I think we almost got caught up in us like trying to figure out like solutions to why we're losing like close games and stuff like that, to where we got away from what even got us there in the first place, which is like being like super aggressive on defense, like taking advantage of our great individual defenders, and we need to get back to that.
Jack, the starting lineup so far this year has just been a struggle and ratings negative. What do you think?
I mean, I think, like I said, it's not really a starting lineup or a bench lineup specific problem. Like we've had conversations this year about both lineups like underperforming to like what we think our standard is. So I think we got similar problems all across the whole team. I don't think it's necessarily a who's on the court together type problem. Like it's just about it's a team issue that we need to address and figure out.
How does the spacing feel in that lineup?
It actually feels fine. I know we're not like shooting a great 3-point percentage, but I think like it's different from game to game. You know what I mean? Like if it's one of those nights where it feels like we can't make a shot, then obviously like it feels like the paint is clogged. But in other games, like where we all of a sudden we start making our shots, then we got a free-flowing offense and everything's looking great. So I wouldn't say I don't really see an immediate issue right there.
Like the other day we were here after practice, everyone was really happy and the shooting competition, everything. How's the mood of the loss kind of pile up here?
I mean, I think the mood is still good. It's serious in the sense that like we're having these conversations more often now. Like we need to figure some stuff out. Like basically, like it can't keep going the way it's going right now. Like, I mean, I think we all know like it's not horrible, but it's not up to our standard or up to what we expected from ourselves. So I don't think it's necessarily wearing down on our mood, but it's definitely like a serious issue that we're addressing right now.
What are some of your takeaways, and what did you sort of present to the team this morning? Looking back at it.
Yeah, so we had a really good film session today, really good conversation with the team. Bottom line is we got to be a lot better. And I think we have a lot of tools and a lot of opportunities to be better, and we just did not use it last night. After watching film, the feel was the same, that we did some good stuff in the game. We just did not have consistency throughout the game to close that game. And with all the mental mistakes and all the stuff that we had, it was a 3-point game with 3 minutes to go. And even there, we had some mental lapses and mistakes that should not be happening. And we talked a lot about our defense, our disposition to guard better one-on-one, our disposition to protect the paint and trust each other better. And talked about offense, how the ball cannot stick in the second half. First half with 20 assists, second half only 9. We gotta beat that team. That we gotta just find a way to maintain and sustain quality of play.
I know there are a few issues right now. The starters have started 16 games together. The offensive rating is not good. At what point do you say this isn't working versus there are things to fix here, and I believe you can fix them with this group?
It's at some point it has to happen. I still believe in our guys. I still believe that this group can figure it out and do better job. Last 5 games with starters on the floor, we did not do well. They gotta be better. Those guys, they gotta be better, but our whole team gotta do better job as well. We're having early subs and putting Gary Trent to play with starters over there. So with him, we're getting some more shooting there as well. We need playmaking on the court. We need players who are able to play pick and rolls as well and create out of that. So we're constantly trying to improve and get better as a group, and it starts with every single player doing their job on a higher level.
Otto was talking about communication on the defensive end.
Yes.
And how sometimes 3 guys know it and 2 guys don't, or 4 do and 1 doesn't. How often does it change in a game? How many times do you have to change it up?
No, we change coverages, not a lot, especially comparing to my previous teams, I would say minimum. And those are happening in timeouts. Players should know coming out of timeouts what we're doing, what is the coverage, and what they should be doing there. After watching the film, yes, there were a couple of breakdowns on coverages, but I don't think that was the main thing in the game. I think a lot of times it was really what we're doing in one-on-one, our transition defense, our ability to protect the paint, our ability to come up with 50-50 balls and rebounds. Those are the main issues for us that we got to clean up. If we clean up those, then in coverage we're going to be much better.
Scotty's so good as a help off-ball defender. Is it? I mean, you have to work with the players you have, and some people have to guard the perimeter. But is it hard for you as a coach to put him in that role when he's like so impactful on the help side?
Yeah, he is, but in order to be impactful from a help side, he's got to be guarding 5s. A lot of times he's on the court with Jakob, so he cannot be on 5s. When he's with Precious on the court, a lot of times those 2 guys are switching. So it's something that Scotty does well. Like if you remember Chicago game early in the season when he was our backup 5, in that game he did really good job guarding Nikola Vucevic. He does really good job with that, but like it's really hard to put him in those situations.
Coach, you talk about consistency and just avoiding those mental mistakes. Is that built on practice, or is that just playing through games and reps?
It's both. It's watching film, studying the film, understanding what mistakes are. Like I cannot explain how did we end up turning the ball 8 times to start the 3rd quarter. You know, watching the film, it was just literally like mental mistakes, like ball bubbling in our hands, and you know, having a wide open man. We're trying to pass the ball in the crowd, like stuff like that. Like we gotta do much better job. It comes with practice. It comes with developing skill. It comes with mental sharpness there as well. And we continue talking about 3rd quarters and having good starts of the 3rd quarters. We gotta figure it out what it takes for us. Does it mean to come on the court sooner and get ready and get warmed up and you know, whatever it might be, we gotta do a better job of starting those 3rd quarters and maintaining it for 48 minutes.
You mentioned last night that Otto will be a regular in the rotation. What do you see his role on the team going forward?
Otto is an experienced player with ability to shoot the ball, so defense is always going to be gravitating toward him, closing out more. His natural position is playing at this stage of his career, playing some 3 and 4 and stretching the floor out, but also he's capable to be in pick and rolls, pick and pop, stretch the floor that way as well. I think it's just his experience on the court, knowing where to be on the court, and communicating with guys, it just helps us on the court.
Did you ask Otto to guard some 5s?
We did ask him last night to guard some 5s.
How did that go? Because that would allow him to help.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So he needs to get more reps in a coverage when he's dropping down and not constantly switching. He has good hands. The problem with that is If that's athletic 5 who is a good roller, then you're getting exposed with lobs. So a lot of times it's going to be with him on the court, depending who they have opponent teams. You'll have to be in switching 1 through 5.
But it would allow him to be that sort of help guy, be that communicator at the back, if you play it off the 5.
Correct. It's going to help with that, but it's going to be exposed with, if 5 men is a lob threat and they're just rolling behind his back and playing above the rim, like he will not be great with that.
You guys haven't had a lot of lineups with Scotty without Malachi or Dennis on the floor this year. Is that about having sort of a pick and roll guy, an offensive organizer on the floor, or why have you done that, and how do you think Scotty would fit in that?
I mean, you need a guard who's going to help with alleviate the pressure or bring the ball up the floor. When Scotty is just by himself on the court, sometimes teams going to just pick up full court and make it hard for him to bring the ball. He needs somebody to help him. I think he is good handling the ball in pick and rolls and making decisions, and it's definitely part of his development, doing that more and more. I just think that sometimes have another guy who is capable of bringing the ball and get it set and organized is helpful.
Yak was mentioning how sort of the conversations about needing to sort of stem this tide and start playing basketball, playing good basketball more consistently are happening more often right now. Just because time is going on. You're a guy who obviously encourages joy, encourages having fun. How do you balance the seriousness while keeping things light when possible?
Those two things are, in my mind, are separate. We gotta be serious about our business, and we're very serious about our business. Keeping it light might be after the practice and getting some shots and getting fun a little bit there. But once we're on the court, once we're on the film session, once we're on practicing and playing, it's about business. It's about winning, and the joy comes with playing hard and playing for each other and playing unselfishly. That's where the joy really comes in, And a lot of times when you do that, you get rewarded with wins as well.
What's the golf ball for?
Oh, I don't know. I just found it on the course. I've been carrying it around. Good catch.
Just one more about Otto in the 5. Would there be concern given his injury history and working way back against some of the bigger 5s putting him in, asking him to defend them or no?
Yes. I have to tell you everything. He's getting back. He's finding the rhythm. He's trying to find explosiveness back in his legs, and in guarding people, I think he has really good hands, especially around the rim. He comes with a lot of deflections. He's just like trying to find the best role that he can help us defensively, and on offensive end, his just presence on the court helps us on offensive end.